What if every laugh you've ever shared with a friend wasn't joy at all, but your body's ancient way of announcing, "We survived that"? What if laughter is less like a smile and more like a fire alarm going off after the fire's already out? Here's the question that should unsettle you. Why do you laugh at things that aren't funny at all? A stumble on the stairs, a joke that bombs, a tense meeting where someone finally says the awkward thing out loud. You laugh, not because you're happy, because something just felt dangerous. And then suddenly it wasn't. Picture this. You're walking with a friend, and a car swerves toward the curb, missing you both by inches. Your heart slams. And then you laugh, loudly, almost involuntarily. That laugh has nothing to do with humor. It's a release valve. And according to the researchers who've spent decades studying laughter, that reflex is older than language itself. Robert Provine, a neuroscientist at the University of Maryland, spent years doing something almost nobody else bothered to do. He just listened. He and his team eavesdropped on over 1,000 real conversations in malls, dorms, and sidewalks, cataloging exactly when people laughed. His finding was strange. Only about 10 to 20% of laughter followed anything resembling a joke. Most of it came after ordinary, unremarkable sentences. "I'll see you later." I know, right? People weren't laughing at content. They were laughing at connection itself. At the moment, tension between two people resolved into safety. Now imagine you're in Provine's data. You say something completely mundane to a coworker, and you both laugh anyway. It feels silly in the moment, but what you're actually doing is signaling, at lightning speed, "I am not a threat, and neither are you." That signal predates grammar. It predates fire. Provine's argument is that laughter is a primitive social instrument, not a punchline detector. And once you know that, you start noticing it everywhere. Nervous laughter in job interviews, laughter in hospital waiting rooms, laughter at funerals. None of that is joy. It's the nervous system saying out loud, "We're okay for now." To understand why, you have to go back further than modern humans, back to the primates our early ancestors branched off from. Marina Davila-Ross, a comparative psychologist at the University of Portsmouth, has spent years recording and analyzing the laughter-like vocalizations of chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans during rough-and-tumble play. She found that these sounds share acoustic and evolutionary roots with human laughter, tracing back an estimated 10 to 16 million years, meaning what we call laughter isn't a human invention at all. It's a played-down alarm call. Now put yourself inside that ancestral scene. Two young primates are wrestling, biting, chasing, actions that would be lethal if they were real combat. The panting, breathy vocalization that bursts out during play tells both animals and everyone watching that this looks like danger but isn't. It's the sound of, "This could hurt you, but it won't." Davila-Ross's work suggests that laughter began as a built-in safety label stapled onto mock aggression, so that play didn't get mistaken for war. That's the danger signal at the center of the title. Laughter didn't start as an expression of delight. It started as a piece of urgent, real-time information passed between bodies. Threat detected. Threat downgraded. You can relax now. 2 million years of hominid evolution didn't erase that function. It just dressed it up in social clothing. Jaak Panksepp, a neuroscientist formerly at Washington State University, pushed this even further using an experiment that sounds almost absurd until you sit with it. He tickled rats. Using ultrasonic recording equipment, he discovered that young rats emit high-frequency chirps during play and tickling. chirps that behave exactly like precursors to laughter. Rats that chirped more sought out human hands more eagerly afterward. The sound tracked directly with safety and bonding, not simply pleasure. Panksepp argued this was evidence that laughter-like vocalization is a deeply conserved brain circuit, wired into the emotional core of mammals long before humans existed, tied to the transition from vigilance to safety. Here's where it gets personal. And here's where the mechanism folds straight into your daily life. Your brain is still running that ancient circuitry every single day, whether you notice it or not. When your boss makes an awkward joke in a meeting and the whole room erupts a little too easily, that's not comedy. That's a room full of nervous systems downgrading a threat together. When you laugh reflexively after admitting something embarrassing out loud, you're not experiencing delight. You're using a 2-million-year-old tool to tell your own brain the exposure is survivable. This is why nervous laughter shows up at the worst possible moments. A eulogy, a diagnosis, a breakup conversation, moments with zero humor and maximum threat. The circuit doesn't care about appropriateness. It cares about signaling the danger has passed as fast as possible. And that reframes your own self-talk too. If you've ever laughed at your own failure, dropped the tray, missed the deadline, said the wrong name in a room, and then felt confused or guilty about laughing, you can let that go. You weren't being careless. Your nervous system was doing exactly what it evolved to do, converting a spike of threat into a shared, survivable, social event. Gregory Bryant, a communication researcher at UCLA who studies the acoustics of laughter across cultures, has found that listeners across vastly different languages can reliably distinguish real, spontaneous laughter from fake, performed laughter, because the real version carries subtle acoustic markers of actual physiological arousal, the leftover fingerprint of a genuine threat response. Joy can be faked. The danger signal can't. Not easily. Here's the twist that should stay with you. We built an entire industry. Comedy, sitcoms, stand-up, late-night television, on top of a reflex that was never designed for entertainment at all. Humans didn't invent humor and then discover laughter as its reward. We inherited a 2-million-year-old alarm system and later, painstakingly, learned to trigger it on purpose, artificially, for fun. Every stand-up comedian on stage is essentially manufacturing tiny, controlled threats. The setup, and then resolving them safely. The punchline, so a room full of strangers can feel, in miniature, exactly what your ancestors felt after surviving a predator's lunge. So the next time you laugh at a meme, a friend's story, an awkward silence you can't explain, pause for 1 second. That sound isn't proof that something was funny. It's proof that your body just registered a threat, however small, and decided you were safe. Not joy. Not really. A signal, 2 million years old, still firing every single day, telling you and everyone around you the same ancient message. We made it through that one too.